Today we review, test drive, and take a look at the 2012 Mazdaspeed3. Here's a quick walk around of the Mazdaspeed3. No scratches, no dents, looking pretty sharp. I have the AC compressor on, so it's about to cut on. You'll hear it in the exhaust. Sounds like a mean tiger. But anyways, this black paint has a slight sparkle in it. It looks pretty good. Not as intense as the Focus STs. But now that we looked at the outside, we'll take a look at the inside. Everything's stock as well. The 2012, 2013 has a slightly different interior. I think it looks nicer. Got the 6-speed, and it's looking fresh in here, and it doesn't smell like crap. All that beeping is from the keyless entry. I had the keys in my pocket, and the car got mad when I went to the car with the keys in my pocket, but it still runs. And then finally, the trunk. This thing is super practical. I've got some floor mats in the back here. Hey everyone, welcome to Garage Topics. I figured I'd give you a test drive in my 2012 Mazdaspeed3. I've had this for about 2 years now, but I've never really done any videos except for when I was working on the 4Runner going to and from the parts store. So let's go ahead and buckle up and take it for a spin. This bad boy has 39,000 miles on it. I've had it since about 20, and it's been dead on reliable. I've never had any issues with it at all. The only things I've changed to the car is changing out the tires for Michelin all-season AS3s, I believe. Alright, and we're off. First things first, it's a 6-speed, which is awesome. The clutch is a little bit iffy to get used to. It took me a long time to get used to it, so if you're looking to get one, don't be thrown off by the clutch. That's how they are normally. A little bit different to a Honda clutch. It drives relatively quiet. Its handling's perfect. I don't know if you can hear the engine, but we'll gun it here a little bit. Alright, just blew first gear's tires right through. First gear is pretty much useless. If you wanted to, you could probably start it in second gear every time you wanted. But like I said, I've done nothing to this car at all. It's been dead on reliable. It's been my daily driver. I used to commute with it a lot, up and down 95 a lot on the East Coast. I've driven it to West Virginia and back. I've driven it in about 5 inches of snow, no issues. It's been great. The only thing is, it's a little bit small if you're gonna carry 4 passengers in it total. I've done that before. I had 4 people and all the ski and snowboard luggage, and it was pretty tight in here. The things I love about the car, it's practicality. It's awesome. You can fit a lot of stuff in here. I fit a really large grandfather clock in here. Just laid down the back seats, laid down the passenger seat, and laid it right in. I've also put a bookcase in here. That's been great. Another thing I like about it is it's a new car. It's the newest car I've ever had, so it's been kind of weird never having to tinker with anything. I've had no need to. Some of the things I don't like about it, the clutch is really finicky. I've had it for almost 2 years now, and I'm still not used to it. If the AC is on, it's horrendously noticeable. I've never had a car where you can tell that the AC compressor is sucking power from the engine, and because of its cycling on and off, with me changing gears at a stoplight, if I'm letting out the clutch and then hitting the gas and then all of a sudden the AC compressor cuts in, it can stall the car because it's putting all that load on the engine and it will make it stall out. So that's my only gripe about the car. I've read that this thing with a carb tuner, and just that carb tuning alone will really wake it up. First and second gear it boost limits it, so it's not getting full boost in first and second gear, and that's to prevent the car from, I hate this stupid word, but it prevents it from torque steering. Everyone's like, torque steer this, torque steer that. Yeah, it does it, but I'm not a professional racer, and unless I'm flooring it with my hands off the wheel, which no one should ever rightly do, I've had no issue with it at all. So to all those worried about torque steering this car, I don't even want to talk about that because it's not even an issue unless my hands are off the wheel, and if that's the case, shouldn't be driving a car. The main thing though is that I've had this for about 2 years and I've not done a single thing to it, which is kind of weird for me. I've always modified or tinkered cars, and I've just been thinking about it a lot. I'm really not in love with this car. I like this car a lot. I mean, it's been great to me, but I'm just not in love with it, and I can't explain why. I've never really like fully felt the love for it, and I think because I've thought about it as more of an investment than mine, which is a bad way of going for a car, because a car's not an investment, but I just haven't felt the love with it, and it's been killing me, and I don't know why, but I think I figured out why recently. Alright, let's give it a boost one more time. No one through here. It's 35, we'll get there real quick. Alright, easily there. I've hit it with the carb tuner. First and second gear will just light it up, so if you're looking for easy, quick performance, that would be the way to go. Also, catbacks on this thing sound delicious. They sound awesome. Another stop sign here. We can go. Yeah, so like we're just getting into third doing that, but if you take third out on the highway, it's like second feels quick because it's a low gear, but third gear feels awesome because it's pulling full boost. So when you have the chance to get up to like 65 on the highway, just third gear flooring, it's amazing. All right, so this is the first-hand point of view of ripping it through first and second. Going about 5 miles an hour, then rip it. Just the boost in this thing feels amazing. I've had a SRT4 before, and it's very similar to that, and that's why I liked it initially, because it reminded me a lot of that car. But inside and feature-wise, it's a lot sturdier car for sure. Pretty quick. All right, let's give it one more boost. Golly, when I do that, I think I've noticed like 10 miles per gallon, even less than that. The stock tune makes it run really rich, so if you look in the rear view mirror, if you boost it for the first time once the car is warm, of course, you'll see a big old black cloud of smoke coming out there, and that's from just unburnt fuel. So the reason I decided to do this video today is because I've actually decided to sell this car, which really to any normal person makes absolutely no sense, because this car has been dead reliable. It's not too expensive. I will give it that it's expensive in the gas realm. I've gotten 29 miles per gallon on the highway, and that was awesome, but it was just straight highway, no boost or anything like that. But around town, if I'm like some highway, some town, I get about 20, 21, and that's on premium. And I think for this car, it just doesn't really add up to that. And especially just around town, it has low end grunt, like underneath 2000 RPM. It's really kind of sluggish. After that, it opens right up and it's fantastic. But for where I live now, it's mainly city driving, and it just doesn't cut it. Before, I lived out in the mountain area, and there's tons of mountain roads, and this car handles wonderfully. I love that car out there, and it was perfect for that. But for right now, this doesn't really meet my needs currently. And there's one car out there that I've always wanted, and I figured that now's the time to do it versus never. So the only reason I would sell this car is to get that particular car, and that's what I've decided to do. So I'm gonna make a video about that. You can check me out on Instagram about when I get that car, but look out for that in the next coming weeks, because I'm super excited about it. As sad as I am to get rid of this car, I'm super excited to get that car and just actually own a car that I really do not want to sell ever. So I'm really looking forward to that. For anyone in the market for a Mazdaspeed3, this is 2012. Get it, it's a great car. I like the 2012s up because I didn't like the dash lighting. The 2010 to 2012, 2011s have like a blue and red lighting, which look kind of cheap to me. This one has like red and white lighting. And also the interior, the seats still have the red speckly stuff, which doesn't bother me. But the 2010, 2011s, there's like this red and black splotchy trim, which I'm sure you could put some vinyl over and make it look nice, but just stock, it just didn't look that nice. So this one here has a tech package too, which has navigation, It has keyless start, it has blind spot monitoring. And my favorite feature about the car is the headlights, the HID, but they turn based on when you turn the wheel. So when I lived out in the mountain driving, there was lots of tight turns everywhere, so I could see phenomenally, because the second I turned the wheel at speed, the headlights would curve to correct where I was going, so I could see absolutely everything. And that's a huge feature on such a cheap car. I mean, it's not a cheap car, but for its price point, that's a super luxurious feature, which I was really happy to have. I'm heading back to the house now. I had roof racks on the car. I took off those because I'm going to keep them and sell them on my own. But I've cleaned out this car. It's kind of sad. I've got everything out of it. So I'm going to head back to the house, get all the stuff, and then head over to the bank and meet the guy to sell the car. So it's been awesome. I really have enjoyed this car, but you got to give up the good to get to the great, I guess, and that's how I feel about it. There's nothing wrong with this car, but I just have one car that I've had in mind for a long time that I've got to just stop talking about it and be about it. So fortunately, it has to come with selling this, but the Miata isn't going anywhere, so I'm keeping that. It's gonna be sad not to have the two black Mazdas. They look pretty sweet together, but I think it'll be all right. Thanks a lot for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Check out the Instagram for pictures of this car, pictures of the Miata, and pictures of the new car, and then any other goon stuff I'm doing. All right, before I leave, I'll give you some shots of the car driving around outside. I don't have a fancy tripod set up. I don't want to just leave it out in the middle of nowhere and then drive and then come by and then it'd be stolen. So I'll do some drive-bys, just simple drive-bys so you can see the car, hear the exhaust sound. Then again, it's stock, but from the outside you can hear it a little bit. But thanks a lot for watching. Be sure to subscribe and have fun with your car. Catch you later. Alright, so the end of this video is just some exterior clips, some drive-bys, and some awesome exhaust shots. So let me know what you think. If you got one of these, let me know how you like it. And be sure to subscribe and like the video if you like it, of course.